Aloha! This is Dr. Sonia Borg, and you're tuned in to the Spirit of Sex on Intention Radio. In a moment, we will be speaking with Natalie Vail, who will be talking about healing the sacral chakra, the chakra associated with sex. I'll tell you a little bit about Natalie. I'm so honored and thrilled to have her as a guest here today. Natalie Vail is a certified psychic medium, licensed acupuncturist, herbalist, massage therapist, certified spiritual energy healer, and a feng shui consultant. She was born and raised in California and knew from the age of 4 years old that she wanted to be an alternative healthcare practitioner. Previously needle phobic, a series of divinely orchestrated events led Natalie to study the ancient healing practices of traditional Chinese medicine. While working on her Master's of Science in Acupuncture, she also studied Feng Shui and massage to round out her esoteric knowledge. Before beginning her studies of East Asian healing arts, Natalie graduated Phi Beta Kappa from the University of California, Berkeley, with a BA in anthropology and a minor in music. Natalie is an amazing woman, and I am so thrilled to have her on the show today. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going to cry. I met Natalie when I was faced with making a difficult decision. And I instantly appreciated her compassion, her honesty, her clarity, and her vast knowledge. As you can see from her bio, and she has become a teacher for me in many ways. And I owe so much. I owe a great deal of my recent growth and awakening to Natalie. And in fact, I once told her that I connect with her more often and in a deeper way than a traditional therapist, which would make her a therapist to therapists. You can learn more about Natalie by visiting her website at www.natalievail.com. That's NATALIEVAIL.com. And you could actually meet her in person if you're going to be here on Maui, or if you live here, on Sunday, September 8th from 11:30 to 2. We're going to have an afternoon with your angels. And it's at a private beach location in Lahaina, again on the island of Maui. And you could either get in touch with Natalie through her website, or you can get in touch with her and sign up and learn more details about the class by contacting me. And that's Dr. Sonia Borg at drsoniaborg.com, spelled DRSONIABORG at drsoniaborg.com. Well, great. Again, I'm so excited and honored to have Natalie Vail as our guest on the show today. And again, Natalie is going to be talking about healing the sacral chakra, and that's the chakra associated with sex. Natalie, is there anything that you wanted to add or share with the listeners right away before we get into some of this exciting topics?
No, I would just like to say thank you so much for the opportunity to speak on your show today, Sonia. It's an honor. Thank you so much. You are such an amazing healer yourself, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, so let's go ahead and get started about healing the sacral chakra. First of all, what is a chakra?
Great question. A chakra is basically an energy vortex, and it translates from Hinduism as the wheel. And what this is basically is that there are 7 main chakras that are located over our nerve plexus centers. And they are associated with the colors of the rainbow. It's very easy to find them. We have red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, indigo, and purple. And these also are associated with the different endocrine glands in the body, as well as emotions, our vital organs, and they also fall along really popular and powerful acupuncture points.
Oh, that's fascinating. I really didn't know that it was associated with the colors of the rainbow. That is completely fascinating.
Yeah.
What is the second chakra?
The second chakra is the sacral chakra, and that's what we're going to be discussing today. It's actually called Svadhisthana, which, I'm sorry for my pronunciation, translates as sweetness. And it's otherwise known as the sex chakra in English. This chakra is our reservoir of prana or chi, and it's where our vital life force energy is stored and maintained. The Chinese call this area the Dantian, and the Japanese actually call it the Hara. It is a place where all of our emotions are stored, and it's developed from the ages of 6 months to 2 years old.
Wow. And so where is that located on the body?
It's actually located, and its name is derived from where its location is on the physical body. So if you were to view a person face to face, it would be in their lower abdomen. And if you were to look at them from the back, it would be on their actual sacrum itself. So in acupuncture, this would be around the area of the point called Ren 6, or the Chinese name Qi Hai. It's about, if you were to find it on yourself, you could locate it very easily by taking 2 of your fingers, take your index finger and your middle finger, right below your umbilicus and above your pubic bone, and that whole region right there would contain your sacral chakra.
So is the umbilicus the umbilical cord? Or like
Yes.
the belly button?
The belly button,
The
yes,
belly
that would be.
Right on. Okay,
Most people would call it that, yeah.
Okay, I'm doing that. Wow. Wow. Super powerful. What are some of the characteristics and qualities of the sacral chakra?
The sacral chakra is related to the water element in Chinese elemental systems. And like I said earlier, it is the sea, or like the water of our emotions, because emotions are fluid. We go in and out of things depending on our experiences. The sacral chakra also houses our creativity. So it's the place that we say that, the child is developing in your utero. It also stores our memories, and its whole job is to keep things moving. And how it does that is by eliminating toxics and also waste products from our bodies, either physically through our elimination processes of the bladder or the colon, or also emotionally through our ability to cry and purge out stresses, emotions, traumas, dramas.
Wow. It's an important thing to keep healed and keeps clear, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What does an open and balanced chakra, sacral chakra, look like?
If someone has a open and balanced sacral chakra, they have a really healthy idea of sexuality. They're somebody that has a normal libido, not too much, not too little, kind of like Goldilocks. They're very self-confident with themselves. They're happy with their sexual preferences and partners, and also their gender. A lot of the times, we see people who are really proud to be a man or really proud to be a woman, and that would be indicative of a healthy sacral chakra.
And so that's something that anyone can see. Is there sacral, does a healthy sacral chakra look differently to you, being you're an intuitive and a psychic medium? Can you tell the difference that way?
Absolutely. As an intuitive, a lot of people come to me for counseling during their breakups. They want to know, why did he or she leave me? What went wrong? What did I do or not do? And I can honestly tell you that people who have an unbalanced sacral chakra are the people who are still not over their ex, and it's been a really long time. They're obsessing about that person. They can't stop thinking about them. They don't want to move forward and find new sexual partners. People who have a healthy and balanced sacral chakra are the ones that are able to see things clearly. They see that it wasn't going to work out, that it wasn't the best relationship for them, and they're open and ready to find a new partner.
Wow. Awesome. I can't wait to get to the rest of the interview. Let's go on with the next question, because that's really, really big, as I've seen the same thing in a lot of my work. and experience that in myself. So, all right. What is indicative of an unbalanced or blocked sacral chakra?
A person who has an unbalanced or blocked sacral chakra is going to first and foremost have problems with how they view sex. So they're going to associate sex with feelings of guilt, maybe physical or emotional pain, and then some sort of shameful thing. They're probably going to have negative feelings about their own sexuality or others. They could be shy about discussing sexual topics. Like they're the person who, in the locker room is the one that walks away when people start talking about sex. Or they're super awkward around people that they're attracted to. So, we might put you on a blind date with somebody and you just can't find anything to talk about with them because you're too attracted to them.
Yeah, not sure how to manage the feelings and stuff that are coming over you. Yeah, that's really pointed and point on to what I've noticed with clients and with myself about how harmful guilt and pain or guilt and shame are to a healthy sex life, a healthy sexuality. So what are some of the determining factors or causes of an open versus a blocked sacral chakra?
Someone who has a healthy and open sacral chakra is mostly going back to our parents. So yay, we don't get to blame them. We get to encourage them for something.
Yeah.
This is where well-intending parents have actually allowed their child to have a very healthy sense of pleasure and also gratification. That meaning gratification through breastfeeding or through being naked or to have pleasure around food or the different experiences in their lives. An adult that shows up with a blocked sacral chakra would have an unhealthy view of that because their parents either smacked their hand away and said, don't touch those parts of yourself, or those are dirty. Their parents didn't communicate the proper names of the sexual organs with them and just said, oh, those are your no parts. It could also be that they had lack of close physical contact when they were children, and basically just a total denial of their pleasure and gratification.
Okay, so let's see. So what kind of emotions or feelings are associated with sacral chakra?
Okay, so the emotions that are associated with a healthy one are that we're flexible. We're able to let go easily and effortlessly. Because we are going with the flow, we're able to change our focus and not become fixated on something that's inappropriate or unrealistic for us. It allows us to have an open sense of exploration and to have enjoyment and happiness in our lives, where we are able to feel, kinesthetically feel things within our own body.
Excellent. How does a blocked sacral chakra manifest emotionally?
In an emotional sense, again, we're going to look at that whole complex of the blame, shame, guilt, and resentment. Somebody who has in Chinese medicine, we always look at things from being either excess or deficient. So if you had an excess block in your sacral chakra, it would show up as being overly sensitive. Somebody who would cry at the drop of a hat. And we've all been there, right? PMS. Or unhealthy emotional dependencies. These are the people that get into these codependent relationships or abusive relationships. They would also be intrusive behaviors or lack of respect around personal boundaries. When people tell you, no means no, and you can't help it yourself, but push it and push it. This could also look like a possessive partner, somebody who's easily angered, harboring a lot of past resentments and then filtering them on to the next person or partner. And then also a fear of pleasure or sensuality, because they're overly stressed out and can't be present in the moment. A person that would have more of a deficient block in their sacral chakra would show up with boredom, lack of interest, somebody who's just overly serious and can't be playful or see the humor of life. It's that person who can't get a joke. You know that person, and you're just like, what's wrong with you? Everyone else is laughing. It would also be difficulty in taking risks or having new learning opportunities because they're so fearful of the unknown, and they're not willing to reach out and experience new things. This would also be not trusting your instincts or having lack of sensation, whether that's because you're depressed and you're numbing it and it's an emotional lack of sensation, or because you actually just can't even feel, like there's no pleasure happening, so you can't orgasm or climax.
Wow.
It would also be kind of that unappreciated inner child, that really sad inner child that just wants to cry or be held, and you're denying them of that.
Very interesting. And how would you, is it very clear to you when you see some, because a lot of this stuff could be, a lot of these things could be associated with like depression or other things. Are you able to determine that it's really a sacral chakra issue when you're working with a client?
Absolutely. So here's the thing about depression is that that's a lack of enjoyment in our life. And if the sacral chakra is about joy and you're not allowing yourself to experience that, there's something going on there emotionally, for sure. Also, our sacral chakra is our sea of vitality, of energy. And when someone's depressed, usually they're lethargic, they're fatigued, they have total lack of motivation, lack of interest. They don't want to do anything. And so a lot of the times I really do believe that people can be misdiagnosed for something that's an emotional, energetic, and spiritual problem, and too easily and too readily put onto SSRIs or other antidepressants, when they could very easily kind of heal and fix this problem from a different perspective.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. So, okay. So how could this show up? How can a blocked sacral chakra manifest into a physical health issue?
The sacral chakra, again, being located in the lower abdomen on the front and in the low back on the dorsal side of our body, is going to be associated with the systems of the genital urinary system, reproductive system, and then also the lower digestive tract. So, any kind of emotional strain or tension can absolutely, physically manifest within the body. So this is going to show up in the sacral chakra as low back pain, painful or irregular menstruation, constipation, possibly sciatic nerve pain where that pain just shoots down your leg, fertility issues, sterility, even fluid metabolism issues, like for instance somebody who has edema or water retention or water gain. The sacral chakra is associated, the endocrine glands it's associated with are the sex glands, or the gonadotropins, which are the ovaries and the testes. And these are controlled by the part of the brain, which is the pituitary gland on the hypothalamus. So anything that would show up in our sex glands, for instance, with men and women, again, we had infertility, possibly STDs. And this would show up as, again, more of that denial of self and guilt. Low libido for both women and men. And this could be denial of pleasure, or I mostly, in my practice, I mostly see this as anger at a partner or resentment towards a partner. For instance, in women, it's going to be, I just gave birth to your child. I've done so much. What have you done for me recently? I don't want to have sex with you.
So I'll manifest an STD.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. It's because you don't, the sacral chakra is about being able to reach out, to connect with other people. And you're saying, I don't want to connect with you. You're gross to me. I'm mad at you. There's something about you that repels me. And so usually the first thing in a relationship to shut down is sex. Because that is your number one sign that something is wrong. And again, that would show up as like low libido, or even just having an outbreak. Say you have herpes and it's been like 10 years since you had an outbreak, but now you're mad at your partner, and guess what's going to show up? Herpes. It could also be that a woman, contracts a yeast infection or a UTI because she's saying, I need time off from sex. I need to process some of my resentments, some of my issues right now, and I don't need to be engaging in a sexual act with you. Again, this could show up as like bladder issues, like I mentioned before, with like infections or incontinence even. Because incontinence would be an overflow of all of our emotions. It's that water. It's that water element we just can't control. It's just pouring out. And then in women, we have that, again, the menstrual issues, which would be a very palpable denial of your femininity or your womanhood. Also menopause. This could be feelings of not feeling good enough or rejection of the aging process. Because a lot of women in their 50s, they go back to their sacral chakra again, and they start dealing with all of their emotions again. And because we have hormone decline. And so that's where we have the major increase in prescriptions for estrogens and other hormone replacements, because women are not aging gracefully because they have that resistance to that process.
Yeah. Aloha and welcome back. This is Dr. Sonia Borg, and you're tuned in to the Spirit of Sex on Intention Radio with guest Natalie Vail. Natalie Vail is an amazing woman, and more details about her could be found on her website, www.natalievail.com, spelled NATALIEVAIL.com. And so we were just talking about, before we left on a break, how can a blocked sacral chakra manifest with physical health issues? And what struck me most about like the Chinese medicine and what you were talking about is how how symptoms show up in our physical body, is how this is really an opportunity to take care of our own physical health and to take responsibility for it, because so often we're in the part of blaming somebody, which takes the responsibility off us and makes it their problem to fix and heal us. And so I really, really enjoy and appreciate what you have to offer here. So how can we, once we identify it and we see the signs like we're not having sex with our partners or we're losing this desire, how can we heal and balance our sacral chakra so we could have a more fulfilling sex life?
Great. So, yeah, absolutely. After you've identified it, next step, we want to heal it, right? So I have about 5 different ways that we can go about doing this. So the first thing you can do is to really access and utilize color therapy. The color of the sacral chakra is orange, and orange is a very dynamic color. It basically implores us to be more curious and to be more creative. So ways that you can incorporate more of the orange color into your life is by wearing orange clothing or accessories. T-shirts, sandals, shoes, earrings, even anything that's going to help you to have access to that color will help you to remember, okay, I'm here today to show up, to be more playful, to be more creative. Within the home and work environment, you can also utilize feng shui. So according to the Bagua, or the 8 squares, the west corner of your home or apartment or office is going to be associated with creativity. And creativity is the main kind of emotion that's going to come out in the sacral chakra. So again, you could access the west to help strengthen your sacral chakra. And you could add like a bowl of oranges or fruit to that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just kind of keep that, or you could do artwork in that area, like art that you've created, or my favorite is like on my refrigerator is my West, and I have a picture that one of my 4-year-old patients drew for me, and to me that makes me think of playful childhood and creativity.
Beautiful.
So another way to do this is to meditate. We always know that meditating is so good for the body-mind connection. And you can purchase an orange candle, something that smells good to you, and then just gaze into that candle for about 10 to 15 minutes. And that color orange will just really seep into your optic nerve and then create, going into your limbic system, that feeling of joy and peace and contentment. In your diet, you could incorporate more orange foods. Orange foods are actually very high in vitamin A and C. They also contain the minerals calcium, copper, selenium, and zinc. So they're chock full of good stuff for you. Some orange fruits that you could eat would be, of course, oranges. Like, I love oranges. And here in California, we have amazing oranges. You could also eat peaches or even apricots. And then, of course, vegetables. We don't want to forget about those guys. We have pumpkin and carrots. Very easy to find within the seasons.
Excellent. Are there others?
Yeah, sorry. We can also utilize the power of crystal therapy. So a lot of people, ironically, don't like crystal therapy. I'm not really sure why, but it's been used for thousands and thousands of years. And crystals are very powerful part of the mineral kingdom. And they use their natural therapeutic vibrational frequencies to match ours into our electromagnetic field. So 2 crystals for the sacral chakra to really activate and empower it. One is tiger's eye. Tiger's eye is a very beautiful, reflective, kind of brownish orange stone. And what it does is it helps protect us from developing codependent relationships, is what we talked about as one of the imbalances of the sacral chakra, which really, when we do develop these relationships, it's because it's stemming from a lack of our own personal energy or willpower, and also belief systems of undeserving. There's that line from the movie, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I just love it. It says, "We only accept the love we think we deserve." So tiger's eye helps you to remember that you deserve all of the infinite amount of abundant love that's out there in the universe. And it also helps you to feel that void so that you don't go out seeking other people's sexual energy to fill that hole inside of you. You know, right after breakups, again, people usually, their sacral chakra gets hit super hard and goes through that trauma. So what do they want to do? They always say it's like the best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody.
Yes.
And that is the worst thing you can do, as we know. And so tiger's eye is the one that's going to help you to say, no, I'm already fulfilled. I don't need to go out there and do that. Carnelian is another stone that's beautiful. It's iridescent, shiny, and orange. And it's actually comes from the chalcedony family, and it's combined with an iron oxide that makes it that orange color. It's a really warming stone that gently balances our reproductive hormones for both men and women. It's especially great for women, though. I've used it very successfully for women who are perimenopausal and for women who are struggling with fertility issues. It's great. I've gotten 2 women pregnant with it. Woohoo! It also helps us it also aids in the rapid release of stress and negative emotions. So if you're having a really gnarly day and you just cannot break that cycle, it will help you to kind of feel more positive. Another really great thing about it is that it does help heal addictions, any kind of addictions, from like smoking to actually sexual addiction. So by, again, kind of making us feel healthy, whole, and complete within our own selves.
I love it. So why does a crystal, what are the properties in a crystal that make it work?
Yeah, just like us, crystals are also energetic beings. So they have their organic materials, they're inorganic, but they combine a lot of carbons as well, and different minerals and substances. So what happens is that has a vibrational frequency to it. And then when we are trying to work on something within our own lives to heal or fix or clear up, they can gently facilitate that for us by matching and moving us into more of their vibration.
Yeah. Wow. That's a great breakup gift to give somebody.
Oh, if you want to be the best friend of somebody after a breakup, a recommendation like from the stars is carnelian and rose quartz, because the two chakras that get hit the most are the heart and the sacral. And so when you give somebody rose quartz for the heart and carnelian for the sacral, they'll move through it a lot more gently. They're still going to obviously experience all the ups and downs and the roller coaster that comes from that kind of shock or trauma, but it will happen with more ease and more grace.
Yeah. Yes. Fantastic. Well, we're going to take another break and we'll be back shortly. Aloha and welcome back. You're tuned in to the Spirit of Sex Radio on Intention Radio, and we're here with special guest Natalie Vail. And Natalie is talking about healing the sacral chakra. And right before we left for the commercial break, we were talking about crystals and their healing properties. What other physical remedies do you suggest for people to incorporate into their lifestyles?
Yeah, lifestyle is really hard to change, and some things that you can do to encourage. Yeah, right.
It is.
One of my teachers in acupuncture school told me, like, you can tell somebody to change almost anything other than their lifestyle and their diet. So,
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, those are such sensitive topics. But anyway, movement is super important for the sacral chakra because it is located in the hips. So different things that you can do for this are obviously yoga. There's poses like pigeon, which I don't know if you've ever done before, but that is, oh man, that's a gnarly pose.
Oh yeah, that is one gnarly pose.
That makes you face your stock.
Yeah.
And then, so the idea is that you're supposed to relax into it and kind of just let it come out. Or also butterfly, which is where you sit with your heels together and your legs splayed open. Mm-hmm. So this is going to, again, help you move and stretch and ease your hips, which deal with our balance and also our ability to move forward in life by being able to make decisions and follow through with them. Another thing that you can do for movement is dance. Belly dancing is especially powerful for the sacral chakra, because what it does is, number one, belly dancing is associated with sex, hands down.
Right.
It's so there you go. It also helps to strengthen and stretch our pelvic and abdominal muscles through these really sensual and fluid movements. Also, for all the people on Hawaii, you can do hula dancing. Same thing. You're moving your hips again. Mm-hmm. Another thing that I recommend too is listen to the music that really gets you grooving. So for me, if I'm like, I want to bust a move, I like to listen to like hardcore rap, which is kind of a funny thing, but it really, yeah, I don't know, we're in Oakland, but it helps me just kind of get more into my body and get things moving.
Right on.
Yeah. Also, going back to diet and some other lifestyle things you can do, I highly recommend Chinese herbs. They're very safe, very effective, and they have, if you order them from the U.S., they've got really safe standards and really kind of more like non-GMO and that kind of stuff. So there's 3 herbs I would highly recommend, and these are all kind of in the category of tonification meaning to strengthen the body. The first herb is yin yang ho, and this herb is in the category of strengthening your yang, which is more of your masculine energy. It kind of relates to testosterone. And the Latin for this herb is epimedium, and the English is hilarious. It's actually called horny goat weed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we always make fun of it when you're in school. You're like, oh, horny goat weed. But horny goat weed does just that. It makes you horny. It actually activates your libido, and it makes you feel more amorous. So by kind of strengthening more of that testosterone within your blood. The next herb is very easy to come by. It's called gochitsa in Chinese, or in English we call it goji berries. Now you can get these almost anywhere now. They sell them at Whole Foods for like $1 million. But
Yes.
there's other places you can buy them for a lot cheaper. And goji berries really strengthen both our estrogen and also our testosterone. They're really good for building the blood. They help with our eyesight. They help with like nourishing the hair, the nails, and the skin. And they're also something that you can do to really activate that sacral energy. And they're tasty. You can put them in your oatmeal. You can blend them into a smoothie. They're very easy to incorporate into your diet.
Mm.
And then the last herb I would recommend is called Xian Mao, which is Curculingus rhizoma. And the English for this is golden eye grass rhizome. And I love the name because it's Curculingus, which sounds to me like cuddlingus.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah. So isn't that, it's interesting how the
Yes.
herbs do, it's kind of, we call it the doctrine of signatures. They have, their names correlate to what they do. And this also does help balance the female hormones, especially for perimenopause. When someone's going through premature ovarian decline, they might be having premature hair loss or graying or hot flashes, night sweats, anything like that. So my only recommendation is when you do take herbs, please do consult your own practitioner, whether that's a naturopath, an acupuncturist, to get what's really going on with you. I hate when people say, oh, I read on Dr. Oz's blog that I should take XYZ herb, and it's not good for their constitution. So absolutely, before adding any kind of supplement into your regime, make sure you do check with your alternative healthcare provider.
Okay. And if you don't have an alternative healthcare provider, Natalie, are you able to do work over the phone? Are you able to consult over the phone with clients about
Yes,
herbs?
absolutely, I am. It would be more of like health coaching. Also, I can look at, if people send me a picture of their tongue, I can get a diagnosis that way, as well as asking them a lot of questions about what's going on in their life, their health, their diet, that kind of thing.
Wow. You could do that for an image. You're the tongue whisperer.
Yeah.
See, I'm constantly amazed of all your talents. Oh my gosh. I had no idea. That is amazing, Natalie.
Aw, thanks.
Yes, I truly am. Well, is there anything else that you would like our listeners to know about?
No, I think that, again, the sacral chakras are just a really important chakra for everyone to look at. I think we all have something to heal there. And the more open you are to going through that emotional process, the more enriching and fulfilling your sex life will be.
Well, I'm going to make my appointment today because, that's the thing. There's so much there, and everybody has their blind spots. I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people say, oh, I'm good in that department, but there's a lot of unseen stuff that just makes our life, once we heal it, identify it, and address it, so much more freedom and so much more love and positive energy flowing to us. It's just super unreal when we get a healing in the sexual area and healing with our sexuality. It's amazing how much our other parts of our life shift and begin to heal. Well, thank you again, Natalie, for your time and being a guest here on the show. Again, if you want to learn more about Natalie, you can visit her website, and she does all kinds of coaching, and she does readings. Check out her website for sure, www.natalievail.com, spelled NATALIEVAIL.com. And of course, we still have